Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the School of Science. My name is Luke, and this is the post-match reaction for Everton vs Aston Villa. Everton nil, Aston Villa nil. Now, before we kick things off, just like to let you guys know, I am going to be taking part in the Everton in the Community 10K event. Now, as you can see here, I've already got my shirt. They were very, very quick getting that delivered to me, so thank you so much, Everton in the Community. I do greatly appreciate it. It's a really nice shirt as well. Now, here's a very quick one. Why on earth are we not getting the Everton in the Community badge on the front of our shirts? And I understand stakes the main holds and everything like that, yada yada yada. But we've now got the adult blank shirts. So there should be an option. You say, right, pay £10-15 extra or something like that, and you can have Everton in the Community on the very front of your shirt. I think it would look absolutely amazing. It's a very nice logo. We could do that, and that £10-15 extra gets donated to Everton in the Community. It works both ways. You are supporting Everton by buying the shirt, and you're also supporting Everton in the Community by giving them a donation. Why not? Come on. We need to think tank these sorts of things, Everton. It's a very good money spinner, and it's a free one off me. But yeah, so as I said, if you are willing to donate to me, there is a link down below. Any form of monetary donation is massively appreciated. And even if you can't afford it, simply watching the videos, interacting with them, and doing stuff like that, it helps massively because YouTube will be paying me for your in-app revenue. So in that sort of situation, any ad revenue generated from any of my future videos up to the day of the event, that will all be getting put to Everton in the Community as a donation. So that'll be your indirect way of donating to the cause. And again, if you donate, thank you so much. If you don't, again, thank you for just watching this video and helping generate some ad revenue for this. But in any case, onwards with the video. So to start things off, I honestly felt like this game was a loss to me. We came out swinging, and sadly, between a few whiffs and Martinez performing like Donnarumma, we just couldn't burst that net. The way the lineup came out as well, it was a surprise to see Mykolenko wasn't in the squad. The way Moyes was talking about him and Ndai, it was a surprise because he was going on as if Mykolenko, the only thing he had was a little tiny knock and he'll be good to play. And that Iliman Ndai was actually worse off than expected. But I guess it was kind of the opposite case, in all fairness. But to be honest, I think we need to give him proper time. We do need to give him proper time to come back. The good thing is we have got James Garner and Adam Asnu. So if we do need a left back, we've got either one of them. And if James Garner does, I hope he doesn't, but if he does sustain an injury or pick up an injury, then the good thing is we've got Asnu there. And I do think he is going to be one who actually will put a little bit of pressure on Mykolenko to be a bit better. But yeah, so regarding Ndai, he was on point today. His close ball control allowed him to quite literally dance between the Aston Villa players, and the only way they could quite literally stop him was fouling him. I'm not kidding. He moves with that ball between his feet. His ability to just get between players or something else. It is honestly like he has got true 360-degree vision, and he knows exactly what's happening. Like he's got like a half-second, how can I put it? A half-second bit of clairvoyance into the future, so he can sort of, when he thinks, okay, if I do this, what's going to happen? Okay, so I'll bring it in here, bring it there, and then they take the legs out of him. How we managed to get him is beyond me. He is a sublime player. I do think if he was playing for a Barcelona, Real Madrid, a PSG, a Dortmund, a Bayern Munich, and Inter Milan, if he was playing for someone like them, he would be their main feature, and the entire of Europe would be singing his praise. But because he's with Everton and they're not in Europe and all that, oh yeah, he's one of those players. They don't sing his praises enough, honestly. But yeah, so I would say if I was to nitpick our performance, I would have to say it's the speed in transition. Now, don't get me wrong, Jack Grealish, Iliman Ndiaye, the two of them, very tricky players. Their knowledge of the game is so good that they don't really need to, how can I put this? They don't necessarily need to be fast. But when it comes to transition of play, it's fairly critical that we are able to move that ball from defense to attack like that. Being able to switch that entire thing almost immediately is paramount for us to actually get a good result. And I do think in Dye and Grealish, you can sort of give them a bit of a pass because of their ability with the ball. But I do think we need some pace injected into the middle of the field. Because what you could end up having is the two wingers can be a little bit further upfield. And then whoever's in the middle, they're able to, if they've got a good bit of pace and a good bit of driving force about them, they can push that ball forward. And then as we get closer and closer to that final third, Illiman and Dye and Jack Grealish become the outlets. Likewise with Drewsby Hall. Basically, he can lead the charge and then he's got his outlets around him. So that's something for the thought. I mean, this is where I do think Milan Raul could come into it because he is a player and a half, I will say that. We will be talking about that, though, a little bit later on into the video. But yeah, so in regards to Jack Grealish, he did play superbly against Villa. Even when they had two players marking them, and they were quite genuinely trying to hurt him. I saw so many challenges on Grealish where they were axing into his calves and everything. They were doing everything they could to hurt him. Now, I understand it's a former player, and we did a couple of situations like that against Luca Dean. We've done that with other former players, but to see them doing that with such malice and hatred is kind of disturbing, to be honest. It is honestly disturbing. Now, you can always go on and say, oh, but that's football. Football's getting too soft and all. Yeah, but with all due respect, you don't go onto a pitch with the intent of being assaulted or assaulting someone. Now, we can talk about Duncan Ferguson, but that's a whole different matter. But yeah, so I'll be honest, my only other nitpick, though, is the finishing. Don't get me wrong, Martinez is an absolutely world-class goalkeeper and a grade A piss boiler. But we should have seen this game off by about 4-0. Better has about 3 chances. And they just floated on by where he seemed, I'll be honest, he seemed completely off the boil in this game. Tarkowski as well. He had a header go right. And Michael Keane was committed to scoring a beauty of a header. He was committed to scoring. He had a beauty of a header that was palmed over by Martinez. Any other keeper, a lesser keeper, that was beating them, in all honesty. Martinez was in the right place, right time. And he just had the reaction to just get to it because it was a solid header. It was fast as well. So, I'll be honest, I've got to give the applause to Michael Keane. He was a brilliant player. He's become a really good player. Now, does that mean I think he should get an extension on his contract? Not really. He's still the 3rd/4th choice centre-back. So when Jared Branthwaite comes back, gets bled back into the squad after his injury, it's going to be a shame because it means Michael Keane's going to be warming up the bench a fair bit. But to be honest, I do expect a bit of switching and changing over the course of the season, especially when it comes to the defenders. Because Tarkowski, although he had a great game today, he still had his moments. And I think one of them was the deflection. So one of the Villa players hit the ball and it deflected off Tarkowski. I think if it wasn't with the deflection, I do think it might have been a 1-0 down because Pickford was essentially beat. But also, how can I put this? The way the deflection went, you did actually see Pickford stammer as a result of the deflection. So chances are, if it was a clean shot, Pickford would have had it all day. But you know what? It's in the past. It's happened. Let's move on. Now, how can I put this? Now, as you guys have probably already heard from other YouTube Evertonians, Simon Hooper was by far Aston Villa's man of the match. He was either on a mission to wreck this game in any way he could, or he got his refereeing badge from a pack of Cheerios because he was just so incompetent in this game. He had no grasp on the game in any way, shape, or form, and he just made wrong decision after wrong decision after wrong decision. Now, chances are the Villa fans probably feel the same. They probably do feel the same. We probably missed a few challenges Everton made on the Villa players that should have probably got rolled back for free kicks. But vice versa, from an Evertonian perspective, it just felt like he had a claret and blue shirt underneath that bloody yellow top of his today. And a lot of the fans were definitely screaming out at it. Well, how can I put it? They were calling for blood, to say the least. They were genuinely calling for blood around me anyway. Because that was it. There was no critique on the players apart from, well, a few silly moments from Beto and Barry. But the most part, it was basically the referee being completely and utterly incompetent. even like I said, he was blind to so many questionable challenges made by Villa and was almost fabricating reasons to stop play and give fouls against Everton. There was one situation where he gave us a foul but rolled it back even when we had the advantage. We were basically ready to go on the attack and then he blew his whistle and told them to put it back. It's like, whoa, we got the fucking advantage here. Why on earth are you rolling it back? I personally think Everton would be well within their rights to put a complaint in and request Simon Hooper does not referee a game they are playing, as he isn't fit for purpose. I do think he does need to have his credentials questioned because, if I'm not mistaken, this hasn't been the first time he's done stuff like this. But yeah, now let's talk about our subs. We only made 2 subs, one being Barry, the other one being Merlin Roll, who had, honestly, he had a great debut. The performance he put in will easily make him a fan favourite. He was hungry, quick, physical, and he was really clever with the ball. He almost got an assist within the first 5 minutes of coming on. I do think he is someone who could make both James Garner and Tim Burnham look over their shoulders and push them to work a bit harder, as he is very much a starting 11 quality player. In regards to Barry, I felt he came on a bit too late, in all honesty. He couldn't make as good of an impact as he can do. He was running well and getting the ball, but he just seemed out of sync with the squad at times, making questionable decisions. And when he had the ball, he was letting players get on him without really finding an outlet. And I mean, some of the shots he made as well were a bit hit and miss. I mean, one of them, it was quite literally either hit here, hit it there, but he just basically put it right through into Martinez's arms. He didn't threaten as much as we have seen him do in the past. But overall, it was a fairly solid performance. Our defence was great. Anyone critiquing the defence needs to get that head checked because Tarkowski did well. Michael Keane did well. James Garner did well. Jake O'Brien did well. There was no real fault in those lads. They all had a really good game. And we were great getting our movements in the midfield. Our only letdown was, as I've said, in the final third, where it felt like we were just lacking. I think in future games, once Diblin's actually beds in, we could potentially look at a false 9 sort of formation with Ndiaye being the focal point at the top. So in that situation, you're pretty much going to have Ndiaye up top with Jack Grealish, Drewsby Hall, and Diblin directly behind him. This could quite easily allow us to have more of a goal-scoring threat. And it creates a little bit of, how can I put this, disarray in the opposition's defence because they see Iliman Ndiaye and they think, okay, so he's a right winger. Hang on, why is he in the middle? Why is Drewsby Hall sat directly behind him? Why is this? Why is that? Why is Diblin doing this? It creates that little bit of confusion, and he could even potentially draw holes into the defence because what we've got to take into account, Grealish is a goal-scoring threat. Drewsby Hall's a goal-scoring threat. Iliman Ndiaye is a goal-scoring threat. I mean, hell, bloody, if we end up turning around and saying, you know what, Merlin Roll, he's definitely got a goal in him somewhere. So we've got plenty of goal-scoring threats. You're talking probably 3 to 4 prominent goal-scoring threats up top there, pressing at their defence. So it's something that's worth thinking about in the future. But yeah, our next game is against the other lot as well on Saturday. And they've got pretty much 2 games in the space of 3 days. So this is genuinely a good chance of us to, how can I put this? You know, possibly pinch something away from Anfield. It's one of those, they've got a very deep squad. So for them to turn around and go, oh, we were fatigued, we were tired, we were this, we were that. No, mate, that's loads of bollocks because you've got pretty much 2 you've got 2 starting 11s essentially with the squads that you've got right now. They have genuinely got a lot of players in that squad. We technically have, but it's not as good. I mean, if you were to take away our starting 11 at the moment, you'd basically have, what's his name? We've got us, Travers in goal. You'd have, let's see, James Garner. Yeah, James Garner at left back. Actually, no, Adam Asnu left back. Michael Keane, Jake O'Brien, Nathan Patterson, Tim Burnham, Merlin Roll. Actually, no. Yeah, that actually works because Burnham can do a number 6, can't he? And then you have Dwight McNeil, um, Charlie Alcaraz on the right, Dwight McNeil on the left, Tierney Barry up top, and then one in the middle. Who could we have in the middle? Ooh, that's actually a bloody thought now. You know what? I'll have to get back on you on that one. But like I said, we've technically got a secondary starting 11. So if the worst was to happen, let's say a severe bout of food poisoning happened and we lost our first starting 11, had to put our second starting 11 in, we have something there. It's not amazing. It's probably a lower to mid-table quality, but it's there. And the players in there, you mix the main starting 11 and the secondary starting 11 in, it's still a really good squad. We have built something really good here, and we're going to keep building something good here. So all we need now, I do think we do need a starting right back. Don't get me wrong, Jake O'Brien's done an absolutely solid job doing that, but you do need that starting. You need a starting right back, honestly, because it's not long before an injury comes in and you're going to have to fall back onto someone else. Potentially James Garner could end up going as a right back with Asnu as the left back, or, well, Mikolenko could probably even be back. But I digress, guys. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I do greatly appreciate your continued support. Also, I'd like to say a massive thank you to all the guys down here. Also, before we... Actually, you know what? Let's talk about these guys. So these three down here, absolutely massive. They're part of the Cup of Coffee tier here on the School of Science TV channel. If you want to be like these guys and help support the channel in an extra little bit of a way, and this money does honestly go so much further than you can imagine. So what's going to end up happening, like I said, in the near future, once YouTube finally pays me out, we're going to get this back wall sorted out. We're going to get a little bit more done here. We're going to potentially even look at getting a vlogging camera, so some games I might not be able to get someone to come with me, or if my granddad's not good enough to go, we might end up having to go solo or something along those lines. But in them situations, how can I put this? We'll be able to do like a full-on match day vlog. And then I would love to be able to do a match day vlog, you know, be able to walk, whilst I'm walking down Regent Road, you know, talking about the game, what I'm thinking is going to happen and all that sort of stuff. Get into the game, you know, you get the start, you get the moments and stuff like that. So we are looking into that sort of stuff in the future. So we are going to try and build some revenue for that. And we are also going to try and work on upgrading the hardware a bit more. We've done a bit of an upgrade for the CPU, the motherboard, and obviously replaced the bloody hard drive because, as you know, one of my main hard drives kicked the bucket. That was a bloody nuisance. I am glad I actually backed it up, though. That's something, if any of you guys are computer people or have a computer, it is always worthwhile to invest in an external hard drive, because if your hard drive fails on your computer, you will lose everything. Honestly, you will lose everything. So get yourself an external hard drive that's probably 2 to 3 times the size as your hard drive on your computer, and back it up at least once a week. Look at me, giving you bloody information on how to back up hard drives on a footballing channel. Oh dear. But in any case, guys, like I said, big thank you to our Cup of Coffee guys. If you want to be like them, less than £1 a month, it helps the channel massively. If you can't afford to do that, though, simply watching the videos, liking them, commenting on them, sharing them, that stuff means the absolute world to me, because that helps massively. Also, as I've said in the very beginning of the video, and I'm going to say it right now, if you want to donate to my Just Given for the Everton in the Community 10K event, that would be an absolute massive appreciation from me, because every single pound that goes into that counts so much. Because doing this 10K is going to be an absolute slugger of a day. And chances are it's probably going to be raining as well. It's on the 11th of October. I'm not sure whether they're going to be having people coming in to, you know, just support. So even coming over and support and saying, "Oh, Luke, I watch your channel, mate. Thank you so much for watching." If you're taking part in an event and you've seen this video, why not say hello to me? I would greatly appreciate you saying hello. If you guys see me out on the street, if you see me going to the match, if you see me at the match or anything like that, give me a shout. Just say, "Hey, look, I've seen your videos, mate. Excellent stuff," or "It's shit, mate." Just let me know. Just come say hello. I'm not going to bite, I promise you. I'm not the big scary guy. I'm not one of those sort of people. I love interacting with people who actually watch my stuff. And as I've said, if you've got anything you want to input to the channel, it's always taken on board and massively appreciated. But in any case, guys, I have taken up nearly 20 minutes of your time, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Sorry this one was actually a little bit late. I didn't end up getting home till like nearly 9, 10 o'clock, so I had to get this one done pronto. But yeah, again, for the final time, thank you so much for watching. Up the freaking toffees, and peace.